All right, we'll actually go over to Greg Allman.
Okay.
Hey, Tom, there's been a lot of talk this week about Bruce Arians and kind of being blunt in his criticism of you and specifically in the 2 interceptions. How is that for you? I think there's a perception that you haven't taken a lot of criticism from your coaches before. I don't think this is something that surprised you this week, is it?
So what's the question?
Just whether you were surprised at all to hear Bruce speaking publicly about the picks and being critical of you as he was.
He's a coach, so I'm a player, just trying to win a game.
Thanks, Tom.
We're going to go back over to Rick Stroud now.
Sorry about that, Tom. Hey, we knew this is a collaboration, right? So how comfortable were you on Sunday when you went back and looked at everything? And I'm just wondering, would you expect this week just to continue to build on that? And now that you have a game, how important was it to get out there in a real game?
I think it's a long process of trying to improve in a lot of different areas, and I think about being the best I could be, and the process I got to go through in order to make that happen. So every week's a little different challenge, and you just got to. I think it starts with great communication and, understanding how to win the game, how to lose the game, being on the same page with my teammates so we can go execute. So obviously if you turn the ball over, it makes it very difficult to win. If you set yourself back with penalties, negative plays, pass game or run game, it's a game of scoring points. So you got to figure out how to score more points than the other team. And, there's been a lot of focus this week and a lot of communication on those types of things.
And you think the guys have responded well in practice, with the urgency that you hope they would?
Yeah. I think obviously everyone wants to win, and, we got to figure out how to be as consistent as possible on a daily basis to put ourselves in the best position to give ourselves the most margin of error. So I think football is about making good decisions on a play-by-play basis. And, that falls on everybody. It starts with communication, then it moves down to execution. And, those are things we're going to be working on from now to the end of time with football. This isn't I don't think in football I've ever thought, man, we got this figured out. This is easy. This is a challenging game. And, they put a lot of pressure on you on defense. You put a lot of pressure on them. And so it makes it a very difficult sport.
Thanks.
And next is going to be Jenna Lane.
Hi, Tom. Going into the game, you talked about wanting to see where you stacked up, and also knowing that you're going to be learning things about yourself and about your teammates in this process. What were you able to take from Sunday's game? What were you able to learn about yourself and about your teammates in this offense?
Yeah, I think every opportunity we have under real circumstances, we're going to learn something. So definitely, I think everyone learned a lot. I'm not going to tell you all those things because I want to give away what we're working on, but working to improve, working to get better. And go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, well.
No, you go, please.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, I was just going to add to that. One of the things Coach Arians told us was that there was a miscommunication with you and Mike on that first interception, that it was an option route. Mike bent the route when he should have kept going because you saw the correct coverage, that it was quarters. How do you guys get better on being at the same page? I know Mike was out for a few days with the hammy. How do you guys work on getting to a place where you're seeing the same thing?
I think that's part of just working on things and being on the field at the same time and communicating through them. So, it's like anything, the longer you're together, the less you'll have to say certain things because you already have experienced them. You'll have talked about them. You'll work through them. There's a lot of black and white, in football, and then there's a lot of gray. And, the problem is when there's too much gray, I thought one thing, you thought another. Whoever's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. The reality is bad plays happen. And then when bad plays happen, you put yourself in non-advantageous, position. So we got to eliminate, as much as we can. Oh, I thought this, you thought that. Oh, you thought this, I thought that. And then one time you're right and one time you're wrong. And, the reality is the other team can't come away with the ball. So that's going to keep us from scoring points. You keep us from scoring points. It's going to keep us from winning games. You keep us from winning games. That's, the whole issue is, we're here to win games. That's why we're playing football. So we got to put ourselves in a good position on every play to figure out exactly where we're going to be so that we can only play with confidence and anticipation. You practice them. And then I think that leads to great execution. You have confidence in one another. Once you have confidence in one another, then you can really anticipate and you'll make good plays.
Okay. Next is going to be Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Tom, such a crazy year with no preseason, but can you speak to the game that Tristan Wirfs had in his NFL debut, going up against Cam Jordan and playing really well, I thought?
Yeah, I think he's done a great job in camp. I know everyone, it's high expectations for someone picked at that position, but he's done a great job. He's got a great way about him. Really love being in the huddle with him. He's got a great maturity for a younger player. He's obviously very talented, but he's just got a great attitude. Really works hard. He's got a good group, Cap next to him. Ryan does a great job at center. Allie does a great job communication. Donnie's doing a great job. So, it's a great group up front, and they're just like, everyone wants to do the best possible thing on a play-by-play basis. And, again, it's first game of the season, first game playing, including the preseason. I think we're just going to keep working hard to improve, work hard to get better.
And then speaking to not having a preseason again, just the challenge of studying the Panthers with only one game worth of game film. Do you guys have to go back and look at Baylor? I guess that's what some of the coaches have said, to figure out what this defense is going to do and the challenges it presents without much game film.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it is. So everyone's dealing with the same thing this year. I think that's that part of it is, that's just what it is. So we got to figure out how to win a game. Man, we got to figure out how to, be more consistent, execute better communication, and, go play winning football.
All right. Next is going to be Ed Encina.
Hey, Tom, over the course of your career, your teams have been really successful at avoiding going 0-2. Is there a unique or a special kind of level of growth that a football team, from your experience, can undergo from week 1 to week 2 in terms of avoiding that kind of thing?
I think, any week is about the same thing. It's not, beginning of the season, middle of the season, end of the season, playoffs. It's just all winning football. So, how do you do that? You score points. How do you score points? Well, there's a lot of ways to do that. Offense, defense, special teams. If I look at it from my standpoint on offense, we got to do it when we're out there, which means eliminate negative plays, have good communication. It's very tactical. So, winning the game is a byproduct of doing a lot of things the right way. And, that goes all the way down into your practice, to your preparation, to your attitude, to your teamwork, to your commitment, to your discipline, to your determination, to how tough you are mentally, physically. Are you making the right plays on a daily basis? And, we got to, all those things come up, and we're going to improve them. We see they're not right, we're going to try to improve them.
Thank you.
All right. Next is going to be Pat and Aaron. All right. We're going to go ahead and go to Kevin O'Donnell.
Hey, Tom, Bruce was saying that the performance didn't carry over from training camp to the game, and obviously the Saints and playing a real game is different than training camp. But did you feel that you might have put some extra pressure on yourself being at your first game with the Bucs to come out and really show in the first game?
No, I didn't feel that way.
Second, during the conference call with the Fox broadcast team, you had talked about Scotty Miller, saying that you really liked him. Here's a guy that a lot of people aren't going to know about him at the beginning of the year, but they're definitely going to know him about the end of the year. What have you seen in Scotty Miller that you really like about him?
I think just, his commitment, how he, approaches practice, how he's, so stable on a daily basis, and how he's You continue to see improvement. He's working hard at the right things. He's focused on the right things. His priorities are in line with what his goals are. He wants to be a good receiver, so he's really focused on being a good receiver, which means he's putting the commitment in, to the game physically. He's learning more about the game mentally. He asks great questions. He's on it. So I have no doubt he's going to keep making plays for us. We got a lot of good players at that position. Mike's obviously is one of the best, if not the best in the league. Chris has had just an incredible, obviously time that I've spent with him, but before I got here, he's been a great player. Justin Watson's doing a great job. Jay Mick's doing a good job. So it's a great position for us.
Our last one's going to come from Greg Allman.
Tom, we got you after the first scrimmage, and you talked about the value of practicing in that stadium, getting a comfort and a familiarity there. How much does that help you going into a game now? This isn't a stadium you've played in much, but this is your home stadium now.
Yeah, I think it's going to, I think every time we take the field out there, it's going to be some type of learning, and we just got to figure out how to win the game. So nothing magic. It's just about playing great football. And again, that speaks to a lot of different things. I think those have been beneficial in the stadium, but now we got to go do it under live circumstances. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Tom.